Hello, Bram Ritsuno here. Today I wanted to share with you the concern that I had with how difficult it is to find your goals and how reliable a lot of people talking about like okay you got to do consistency, you got to do all these like positive thinking and a lot of these type of self-help things. And if you notice that most of the people that actually advocate these type of self-help things are generally the people who make money of aggregating all this knowledge and then tell that to the people. Basically, they're using those knowledge to become themselves successful. It's not like they use that knowledge to do something else and they build a product or services to actually make themselves wealthy. So we have to really think that if what they say are actually real. This is actually very important. Because a lot of times it's a motivational. Motivational means it's like, okay, I can do this, right? And there is certain set of formula that you have to, if you follow it, then you're gonna get to a certain goal. And then they will, a lot of people might give you some sort of like idea that where that goals might be by giving you some sort of like a big houses or cars or whatever the lifestyles that a lot of people might be envious of. Most of the success, I realized looking at the people that who actually made something out of it, or reading all these like biographies, are generally speaking they don't really give a shit about any of these. I'm not saying that none of the things like you learn in self-help are important. Actually, most of the people who do who became successful are doing it without almost like without really knowing explicitly what they are, like those ingredients, like positive thinking and stuff like that. But then if you really think about it, right, it's very common sense, like for instance, you're not gonna go anywhere if you don't act. It means like you get up in the morning, do something important, do something significant, do your best, right? If you're not doing your best, right, if you're half-assed at anything, you're not going to be you're not going to go anywhere, right? I mean that's not the world doesn't really give you that easy way out. Or if you are, even if you try your best, if you're not thinking your brain with your brain, right? If you just brute force every day, no matter how much you do, you're gonna hit the limit because you are only using your muscle, your physicality only. So you have to have a tactical brain or a strategic brain. And of course, like life is unpredictable, so you have to be adaptable, right? You cannot just do the whole, have some sort of like ideal, and then hope that then this ideal is going to happen in a certain way that you imagine. It's never going to happen like this. You got to do the trial and error all the time, and as you do as much as a possible, the best way possible, then you're going to adapt, and you're going to strategize, you're going to use the best tactics, and then you're going to get the goals. And then you're going to do it fast because if you do it your best, and if you set your goals, that's probably the fastest, because it's hard. It's hard to get yourself up and in doing something important. When you let it things happen, there's only one reason to do something, and then there's 100 reasons not to do what you're supposed to do. And then most of the people just give up on because of the 100 reasons why you cannot do it or why you don't want to do it. So, the expectation of this, having this, okay, the life is gonna be okay as long as I learn all this like techniques, whatever. Then that's actually great. But actually, you have to do it. That's the difficult part. As the world changes, so it means like your expectation have to also match. And then nobody's gonna tell anyone that okay. I mean, especially people who gonna sell courses and things, like saying like, okay, it's gonna take 10 years. You're not gonna see a significant result in 5 years. 2 years, you're gonna see hell, right? I mean, nobody wants to hear it, right? But the expectation of the reality. Just look back in your life. How does that 5 years, 10 years really change? I mean, probably you change quite a lot, but have you? Most of the people, it hasn't really changed that much, and we got to think about why, And I think the biggest reason that why we can't really change, like didn't improve drastically, is we quit. Adaptability is important, but then if you adapt too much, it's just quitting too much. That's the difficult part. Nobody really can figure it out. What's the differential between this adaptation and the quitting? I mean, you can't do the things that you don't want to do, or you are not good at for 10 years, and then if somebody talented can do it in 1 year. I mean, then you're stupid, right? It's not clever to do that kind of activities. So you gotta quit when it's necessary, and then nobody can teach you that. What's it called? Tactical maneuver or strategic maneuver, or make a decision like when to switch, when to keep going, and what to keep going. So there are a lot of unknowns, and unfortunately or fortunately, that's why it's fun. It's like an adventure. If you really wanted to, or we wanted to, get somewhere really great, we really have to take chance, take risks, calculate risk, and notice that there are going to be so many unknowns. And all the knowledge that you learn in books, that's critical, so that you're not going to make mistakes that other people makes, or yourself will make. Stupid mistake that waste like 2-3 years. And if you do the 2-3 years mistakes for 10 times, that's 30 years gone. You might not have that luxury anymore. So it's important to learn, right? Keep learning. But at the end of the day, whatever you learn, you will never gonna know. And I'm sure that the people who get somewhere, if you ask them, right, have you really imagined this gonna be like? And they will never going to say that I never imagined to be so. So enjoy, to me, enjoy the journey. Going towards the unknown, figure it out. I mean, that's the most important, and one of the most important attitude you want to have is figure things out day by day, moment by moment. And just set the right type of expectations, because bad expectation if you think even though you have a chance, if you just stick to it for 3 or 5 years and pick the right type of path, then you would have become something great. But then because of your expectations wrong, you thought you could do it in like a few months or like even a year. Need time. You got to strategize better. So yeah, I mean, goal setting and everything, the details, I think I talked about it, like, but yeah, I'll discuss that a little more. The few ways to kind of hone in those type of goals, like what to think of when you look at it. I'm also trying to right now figure out the next venture, and I'm using try to hone in those kind of systems. But now I kind of think is a lot of times it's going to be a trial and error. Thank you for watching. Please share your ideas in the comment section below to help each other, and hit like and the subscribe buttons so you get notified of the next video. See you next time.